You're listening to littlepodcast.com.
This will be the third podcast we'll have talked about Burger King Kids Club.
Come and get me. This is the Exodus, like Pusha said. This is like, it's like a car chase we're watching live.
I watched someone die at one of my jobs.
Hello.
I'm John Penisman.
I've got facts and logic.
What? I can't read it. Precious
A
Gamer Girl? Princess Gamer Girl?
Proud.
Proud Gamer Girl.
Dude, hashtag pride, am I right, gamers?
Yeah. Thanks, Joe Biden.
Oh my god, is there a pride flag for gamers?
I don't
like
know.
one specifically for gamers.
Mm-hmm. There's a gay video gaming con.
No, I think he just means for like straight gamers to be like, we want our own flag too.
For cisgender heterosexual gamers,
It would just be green, blue, red, and whatever the PC color is. I guess gray.
Who's streaming now?
It's always spanky.
I'm seeing if I can find gamer pride flag.
You're just gonna find an actual pride flag with like a controller on it or something.
Oh, here we are.
Oh no.
I made a flag for the most of the repressed of genders, gamers. Orange represents Doritos. Green represents Mountain Dew. Black represents our edgy gamer tech. Red represents our god Nintendo. Please
Spanky!
retweet spread the word.
That's just Burger King again.
Yeah.
Everything's Burger King today.
Everything is Burger King.
Is there a Burger King filter? I mean, I'm already there.
There
at this
is.
point.
It's official Snapchat. I'm sure they do.
Can
Okay.
somebody check if like the hamburger menu thing on the mobile version of the Burger King website is an actual burger? Because that needs to be.
The Burger King Kids Club was a group of cartoon kids that appeared from 1989 to 1999 in children's advertisements for Burger King. And also Burger King called their kids' meals the Kids Club meal. The kids' names were Kidvid, I/Q, which is Spanky, Lingo, Jaws, Snaps, Wheels, and Boomer. They also
I'm
had
Wheels.
JD.
I'm Boomer.
John's clearly Boomer.
No. I've got the Biden filter. I'm Boomer.
I'm the one with that had like VR
I don't even
goggles
know which
on.
one
Who was
Boomer-
that?
That's Kidvid. Yeah, you
that's
can be
me.
Kidvid.
I'm Kid Vid. Boy.
Okay, tag yourself.
This will be the third podcast we'll have talked about Burger King Kids Club.
I'm surprised
Okay,
it's
so
only the
the
third.
BK Kids.
Jaws is the athletic African American guy. I think he's into sports.
His name is
Maybe not.
Jaws. Is he a Bond villain?
I guess I don't know why. I thought he was related to sports because in front of him is Boomer, who's a girl who's way into football and sports.
Okay.
I don't know what he's into because he isn't really wearing anything that would let me know. Other than
Boomer
he's
is
got-
also very into like high explosive and demolition kind of stuff.
That's true. Lingo is
It's dead.
I'm assuming Hispanic guy who's got a bunch of like stuff in his pockets. I don't know.
And their whole thing was, you know, different languages.
Possibly.
Wow. Cool. Good job.
There's just a lot of different I want to know all about them. Like,
Hey, did you guys know
what?
Mac Tonight is like a super racist meme?
Okay, we've got to start the podcast.
It's 9:00, y'all.
I learned that recently. I was very confused.
We've got 10 avatars to go through.
We're not going to do 10 avatars. I think we can only do 5. 10
We
would
might
take
only-
up so much time
Yes.
Okay.
because we take up like an hour doing 5 every time. So
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have a fucking damn thing to talk about besides Avatar.
well, I don't want to make our podcast only talking about Avatar because
That's
Avacast.
We literally had only talking about World of Warcraft Classic for like 6 months.
yeah, and it was a bad idea. I don't want to do it again.
Let's talk about World of Warcraft.
Sorry, Burger King Kids Club. We got him. All right. Welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 401. I'm your host, John Danger, joined by my co-hosts.
Matt Kidvid Haig.
TJ Wheels May.
Spanky, text Joe to 30330 works.
No.
Thank you for taking a giant bite of, I'm assuming, Laffy Taffy right before we started.
Well, I caught him off guard because we were going crazy. All right, so the Burger King Kids Club gang.
No. I want to address these allegations right off the top because I'm in my fucking Biden aviators. I put a full mouth of Buffalo Ranch popcorn into my mouth. And as soon as I did that, John's like, welcome to Born in the 80s, episode 401. I'm your host. And I'm like, fuck, what do I do? And I couldn't chew because it would have been loud. So I had to just wait until my turn. And then I was like, whatever, I'll just say text
for
Joe.
it to slowly soften and then try to swallow the wad of popcorn whole.
I did the best. Listen, I was going to, but it's Buffalo Ranch. Like, it's spicy.
It was nummy, though.
Yeah, that
All right.
sounds good.
Burger King something?
So on this episode of Burger King Kids Club, the fan cast, the Burger King Kids Club. Fuck, that's a hard word to say.
Burger King Kids Club cast is what this is.
Clubcast.
No, so there was Kid Vid, a blonde Caucasian male who loved video games and technology. He was the leader of the group, so that's me.
No, me.
Matt can be Kid Vid, though, because he is into VR. Boomer was a sports-loving Caucasian tomboy with red hair tied to a ponytail. IQ was a male Caucasian nerd. I like how they say nerd right in there. With ginger hair and freckles who wore red glasses, a green lab coat, and a pocket protector. So I guess I could be IQ.
I could be IQ too, I guess.
But John's like
a lab coat.
scientist.
I've worn a lab coat a lot in my
true.
life. Anyway.
And I've always said that TJ's defining feature is not wanting to stand up. So
And I do and I do think that I am way into pocket protectors and other nerdy things. So I guess I could be IQ. Because IQ isn't a computer nerd in here. He's a science nerd. So that's me, I guess.
Yeah,
Whoa,
I don't think they
the
had
rat?
computers in the 90s yet.
All right,
Who's the
Jaws.
rat one?
Okay, my favorite is Jaws. Jaws, a tall African-American male with an insatiable appetite. His personality is eats a lot.
I mean, that makes sense since they're all burger mascots. But
Okay,
it also
Lingo-
kind of sounds like they didn't try very hard.
Lingo is a multilingual Hispanic male who liked art and carried an easel. Why is his written in the past tense?
Because he's dead.
He's dead.
You don't remember that very special episode of Burger King Kids Club?
Snaps, who's the blonde Caucasian female who always carried her camera. I like it when you use the term Caucasian because it sounds like you're describing a perp.
Because
Yeah,
like he was a Caucasian.
words. You can say cock and Asian at the same time. It's
I'm
like
actually a
compound
Caucasian.
Caucasian.
So I also really dislike. I don't dislike the term African American, but African American's a really weird term because it's very much like
Wrong.
Here's
an
the thing,
odd thing because it's not. You're just an American.
I have
Like
Yeah.
Biden. Listen, I have the Joe
Listen
Biden
to
filter
Joe.
right now. I'm allowed to talk about Africa.
okay.
You are.
My dad thinks that he can say the same racist stuff he would have said using either the N-word or the word black. But if he puts African American there, then it's not racist anymore.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's
I feel
making
there's a lot of
progress
people who
at
treat
least.
it like that. We were like, I think that if African Americans wouldn't just go around killing each other all the time, they wouldn't have any problem. Like, you could just totally fucking hear my dad's voice or like all these people's voice, like, I want to say something racist, but if I don't want to get accused of racist, I'll say African American instead. To the point where my dad has called African American hair when we were talking about
I'm so uncomfortable
Donald-
right now.
what's his name? Finn from Star
Oh,
Wars.
Rachel Dolezal.
Yeah.
No. Oh God.
Jussie Smollett.
No. Fucking
O.J. Simpson.
no. He was Finn in Star Wars. Why can't I remember his name? John
LeVar
Mayer.
Burton.
We were talking about
John Mayer.
that guy.
John Favreau.
LeVar
He's
Burton.
like, yeah, an African American stormtrooper. I'm like, first of all, America and Africa don't exist in this universe. It's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Second of all, he's from Britain, not an African American.
Yeah.
the thing that like bothers me about the term
It's
African
funny when it's
American
like
is that
African American British people. Wait, what?
it's a really just. I'm not saying it's like a bad term. I'm just saying it just bothers me like in a pet peeve way, in the fact that someone from South Africa could move to America and be a white guy who is like an apartheid person and say, well, "I'm African American."
Yeah.
Yeah, like
you know, it's
like Elon Musk.
Are you though? Like Elon Musk could say that, as a joke, which is terrible.
Hey, Spanky, where's the blackface filter?
Yeah, Spanky.
Oh
put that on.
God! Don't even.
Please don't get us canceled.
I found it.
Oh no!
Oh my,
no.
TJ. All right, let's stop talking about filters. Let's continue talking about Snaps, a blonde Caucasian female who always carried her camera. No, so in the early 2000s, they added a new character to the Burger King Kids Club, and that was Jazz, who was an Asian girl who loved the music and wore a beret. So that's Matt.
I am an Asian girl.
No, but I got to tell you the crazy thing I just learned was that, they were like, Jazz sunk the brand. No more we can have Jazz. We got to get rid Kid Vid's the only cool one, by the way. But
yeah.
So I want to bring your attention to something. Kid Vid, who I've got a picture pulled up on my cam. And now here is Dippy Fresh from Gravity Falls. And I'm pretty sure
Kid Vid.
I am pretty sure that whenever they were like, so Dipper is a main character, and they were just like, let's make a really radical Dipper as a fictional character in Gravity Falls. And I'm pretty sure all they did was look at Kid Vid and
make it less.
Hey, let's just turn on our character. Like, look at the pose. It's like pretty much the same shit anyway.
Yeah.
All right, that's just the one thing I wanted to draw attention to there.
Okay, so. I wanted to point out that I didn't even know about
my
this
next quarantine project is going to be making a full Kid Vid cosplay.
Yeah,
just so you know.
Because they stopped doing. Well, we already said that Kid Vid's alt right.
Oh no, did we?
Yeah,
fuck. Is
Not
that
surprised.
canon? I don't think that's canon.
We talked about how Kid Vid were turned into an alt right person on the internet.
No, we know that's IQ, right? Like
that's me.
He's destroying people with facts and logic.
He does. He's a young Ben Shapiro. All right, let's move on. So I just wanted to point out. So there was a period in the mid 2000s where they're like, hey, we probably shouldn't be marketing this horrible fast food to children. So they kind of stepped away from having so much kids meal stuff. And McDonald's introduced apple slices and milk instead of soda and fries in their kids meals. But then in 2004, they're like, all right, the Jazz Asian girl who loved music and wore a beret, that didn't work. So we're going to completely change everything. And they created a thing called the Honbats.
The what?
Look up Honbatz, Honbats. They were characters with a group... replaced by the Honbats character with a group of characters designed to appeal to the preteen market.
What year was this? 2004. So this was peak Newgrounds time, which explains the character
Honbats
design.
has a distinct personality: the class clown, the brain, or the rebel. They've appeared in numerous advertisements, are still used in some European markets and New Zealand. So the Honbats are still alive. Mix Max, who's a punk who likes showing off. This or That, a green monster who likes to eat everything but cannot decide where to start. Bonnie, a studious character and the only female in the group. Chomp, large, intimidating Honbats, who's really a big softie and wants to fit in. And the Eeps, a group of small, red, ketchup-craving creatures. That's Spanky Works if I ever heard anyone.
I'm
small, ketchup-craving creatures.
I like to think that canonically,
Mix.
Chomp is just Jaws after going through some kind of weird transformation.
Wait, so what you're saying is that the original Burger King Kids Club was a simulation.
I think they fell into the
Honbats.
They fell into the Ninja Turtle ooze. They learned all the secrets of the ooze, and it transformed them into these monsters.
But if you look at the design of the Honbats, you're so right. It is such a mid 2000s Newgrounds aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
We got to make crazy looking characters.
We just realized that you could do simple shapes and really thick lines, and then people think it looks good. Cool.
Mm-hmm. I am also on kids-worlds-adventures.fandom.com, and it seems to be just chronicling different Burger King Kids Club type groups.
Okay, but are you on honbats.world on the Fediverse?
No, we gotta make that, guys. All right.
Oh,
I'm going to find a random page in the Kid World's Adventures wiki. Sorry. Let's see what I get. Kids World's Adventures of Barney's Night Before Christmas.
no.
What the fuck is this? There's a lot of details on this Barney's Christmas special. All right, let's get out of here. Let's talk about what we've been up to this week. How's life going?
I want to talk about some adulting I've been doing. Because
Fine, talk about your adultery.
yeah, it's I've been married.
Did you get all the feels?
No. So besides the fact that I'm being a dad again this week because all my child things are here.
Children
and my wife thing.
My wife.
My wife.
Thank you. Thank you. That was
Are they moving
way
up to
late.
UT?
Sorry, I was just baffled because I was looking through, like you do, because we were talking before about the Fediverse. I was looking to see what servers my server bans. One of them is Glender.org, which is a Mastodon instance owned and operated by Graham Linehan.
Why?
Nice.
Why does he have one?
I don't know.
Because I think he got banned from Twitter or something.
Well, he did. Yeah, I get that, but no one's going to go to his. Well, no, people are idiots.
Well, let's see. Let's see how many active users it reported. It doesn't seem to show.
We're just a Mastodon fan cast at this point.
Okay, so
it can be the band or this.
Okay, so
social
technically,
platform.
Wait, can we? We need breaking news right now. Kanye West's Twitter account is insane right now.
Okay.
Is he saying more shit about Harriet Tubman?
Dude, his Twitter account right now. He's okay. Let's just start with yesterday. He posted a thing that said RMNNMRLS, and it's a bunch of Roman numerals. Just
okay. No, I can explain this one. He's getting a font made, and he's just in order to share these images with the person who's actually vectorizing the font. He's just posting them publicly on his fucking timeline.
Wait,
Correct.
so are these like hand drawn, like a picture that he posted?
Yeah. So there's a guy that's doing font, and one of the things about doing font is you have to have it in different weights and shit. So that's why there are so many different like repeated characters, so that he can do different weights. Also, so that you can do ligatures, which is like when you make an F and an I, and the top of the lowercase f touches the dot of the I, that kind of.
Oh,
no. So I've done this before. This is a normal thing to do. It's not normal to post all of your work just to your public timeline without adding anybody.
Okay.
John, I don't know if you're going to be working up to this, but his most recent one is very concerning.
I'm working up to this. Okay. So I love Kanye West music. I am worried about his mental health because it sounds like something is really going down right now.
So he's
22 minutes ago. Stop. 22 minutes ago. Let's start.
Well, I just want to get the background. Like he's come out as like officially has bipolar disorder, but I'd be getting to suspect that there's more that like we're not being told.
Let's not worry about that. Let's talk about how he said he's going to run for president. And so yesterday, the last thing he tweeted was the West Wing in his like font or whatever on a looks like a outside of a folder, or maybe he wrote that on. Anyway, he tweeted 22 minutes ago a Google search of Halle Berry. Halle Berry teases she's dating someone with a Sunday Funday post featuring a mystery guy. Is just the top story. And then he posted a Google search that he did of Jennifer Lawrence. And that's it. And then he posted the Ben Shapiro 21 minutes ago thinking man emoji. You know, the thing that every like fucking right wing person does. You know, just let me think about that because that's the thing. And then 19 minutes ago, he posted the Michael Jackson Black or White official music video. And then we're starting to heat up now. 9 minutes ago, Chris, don't play with me. You and that calm yay are not allowed around my children. Y'all tried to lock me up. Who's Chris? Is that one of
Chris Jenner? It's Chris Jenner.
Chris. Okay, Chris Jenner.
It's a fucking Kim's sister.
Everybody knows the movie Get Out is about me. He tweeted 9 minutes ago. All right. 8 minutes ago, I put my life on the line for my children that North's mother would never sell her sex rape. I'm assuming
now that is a typo. That should be taken.
Yeah, which is too late because that was already sold. I put my life on my God that North's mom would never photograph her doing Playboy, and that's on God. I'm at the ranch. Come and get me. And then he posted, and then 6 minutes ago,
he posted a standoff. You guys,
he posted
this
Drake
is bad.
with the thinking emoji, and then he posted 6 minutes ago, "Come and get me. This is the Exodus, like Pusha said." And then 5 minutes ago, he posted "On God," and that's it. And then 3 minutes ago, he posted "Shia is Cap."
I think that's referring to Shia LaBeouf, and I'm thinking he's calling him Captain America. I don't know.
And then, oh my God, there's more. It's just like live.
No, we are live. We are
Kim
live.
Tried to bring a doctor to lock me up with a doctor. So I'm imagining right now, Kanye West went to his ranch in Wyoming, and he's kind of having a mental breakdown right now. It seems like, because he's like gone crazy, and his wife brought him a doctor. Basically,
my wife
said, "You need to get this figured out because you're having mental problems."
No, I think.
And then he says,
"John, I think her name is actually North's mom. Apparently."
Okay. Either way, Ye posted 5 minutes ago. If I get locked up like Mandela, y'all will know why. Nelson Mandela, I'm assuming. Not Mandela
Carl
Barnes.
Mandela. He actually shoplifted something. I don't know.
Okay. And then 4 minutes ago, he wrote Shia was deposed to do, so I'm assuming supposed to do, the first Yeezy Gap shoot, and he never showed up. So maybe he was saying Shia is crap, because maybe that was before, because he was supposed to do a photo shoot for his clothing line, and he never showed up. All right. Anna Wintour always showed me love, but when I told her I was going to Gap, she looked at me like I was crazy. Then she called back kissing my ass. So Anna Wintour, who is a fashion person, I think Vogue maybe she runs. Anyway, he started to deal with Gap. All right. Then 3 minutes ago, he posted Chris and Kim call me now. And then 1 minute ago, he posted to Kris Jenner, "This Ye, you ready to talk to me now, or are you still avoiding my calls?" That was 3 minutes ago. I don't know what else is happening. This is like, it's like a car chase we're watching live here. This is what you don't get on Mastodon. You don't get to watch the crazy people have meltdowns. That's what I'm there for.
So
I'm a misery vampire.
He's made one more tweet since that screenshot, and I didn't bother to see what it was, and he deleted it.
Must have deleted it.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Shit.
I remember it was aggressive. That's the only thing I remember about it.
Oh fuck, man! Somebody probably screenshotted it though. So, all right. So that's our Kanye watch.
I hope he's not armed. Like
I really hope he's okay.
He's got at least two.
Not.
His left and his right.
Watch out.
Okay. So
why does he should just go hang out with this guy?
I'll eat your ass.
And I feel like they have a lot to talk about.
Sure.
The thing about Kanye is I like his music. I like Kanye's music. And this is me as Joe Biden responding now.
Can you do it in a Biden voice?
I don't even know how to do a Joe Biden voice.
Try to be like a human yawn.
Sound like you're dying.
I like Kanye's music. No, I can't do it. To me, his voice has nothing to it. Because I keep wanting to fall into. Because the thing is, here's the thing about white presidents for the past, I don't know, all of them, and my definitely since I was born, they have very I can do impressions. Read my lips. No new taxes. Do a George W. H.W. Read my lips. No, in Texas we didn't have any taxes. You can do a George W. You can do. My fellow Americans, Monica Lewinsky, I don't fucking know. You can do Bill Clinton. You can do everybody loves. You can do Trump. I don't know how to do a Biden.
Here's what if Biden becomes president, the impression that's going to get used is just Jimmy Stewart from that really late performance on the Tonight Show where he read a poem about his dead dog, because that's exactly what Joe Biden sounds like. So
I think that because Joe Biden doesn't have a clear accent to do, he won't win. And that's why we should have voted for Bernie, because
the billionaires and the billionaire,
we can do a Bernie. Bernie's easy.
So I don't really.
But Bernie's not easy. Is the
I'm
problem.
assuming what's happening right now is
Somebody's wrestling his phone away from him?
well, I
Sorry,
feel
I'm
like
trying to
Kanye
stall
West
for
and
time
his
because I want
wife
to
are
actually
having
pop up
trouble,
Kanye.
maybe.
All right. Well, that's it for Kanye West. What Kanye?
I mean,
Watch.
I'll leave it on in the background. We'll check it an hour from now and see that
Yeah.
like there's a live video of a standoff,
like
for
a
this
helicopter
wedding.
footage or something.
Anyway, it's like a volcano. You never know when it's going to pop off, but when it pops off, it's just you can't stop watching it.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely
just-
increased seismic activity right now.
Yeah. So
Are we talking about his dick?
I mean, we can be.
I don't know. We're saying
You
a lot
just
of pop
never
off.
know when it's going to pop off, man.
And horny Twitter is kind of getting to me right now. Anyway, so
can we talk about horny Twitter? Twitter's got very
TJ's
horny.
been trying to start a sentence for like a
All right,
half hour.
so we just had
Oh,
a
it's fine.
conversation
Where's horny
about
Twitter?
how you won't
I'm
find
just saying, like,
Meltdown
Sorry.
on Mastodon. You will absolutely find horny on Mastodon.
Okay. Anyway, I just wanted to point out that I follow a lot of accounts on Twitter, and I feel like the quarantine like had a phase where everyone got really bored, and then everyone got really horny and just started posting a lot of pictures of themselves on Twitter, and then it like kind of died off when like Black Lives Matter happens, and then now it's gone back to being horny.
yeah.
So
That-
the nature is healing.
That's
We are the
the
virus.
like human attention span. Just whenever something hasn't happened in a week, it just defaults to horny.
Mm-hmm.
This is good sparkling water that I bought. Waterloo.
Yeah, I've got that here. It's pretty good.
The Whole Foods delivered it.
Is
to
it
me.
licensed from ABBA?
Yeah. It's got
I'm
legendary
currently
hits.
drinking a key lime LaCroix. But
I got one of these blackberry CBD waters.
I was drinking the other day Aha, it's Coca-Cola's sparkling water.
Okay. Wait, what's the Pepsi one?
What?
Boobly?
Bubbly, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Former co-host of the podcast, Keegan Michael Key, had some ads for Bubbly.
So did current
No.
co-host Michael
Truly,
Bublé.
truly. It was the white cloth.
Truly, thank you. All right, TJ, what were you going to say about horny Twitter?
Okay, I don't even know, but I just
So, anyways, guys,
I was
Thank
waiting
you,
for
Matt.
someone to cut him off again.
thank you, Matt.
You can run, but you can't hide, bitch.
I forgot I had that. That's
Oh,
from
That's a good
my.
one.
I had a bunch
Kanye
of sound
watch.
effects
It's
from
been 9 minutes.
PUBG.
All right.
Right.
TJ, you okay?
I will be.
Can we talk about the Taco Bell menu changing?
We can.
No, let's,
Absolutely.
I'm just trying to distract you again. Talk about what you're going to talk about.
Okay, so I started doing some adult things today,
Adult
and not the
things.
horny Twitter side of adult things. As I do about every other day or so, I apply to like a million jobs, and my younger sister, who I don't talk about on the podcast,
Yeah, I
I
didn't even know.
didn't even know you had a younger sister.
I have siblings
I
in all
recently
directions.
found out you had a brother, so
uh,
I thought that was it.
I have siblings in both directions of both of the boring genders. That's the way to say it. The boring genders.
All right.
I've got two older sisters, older brother, younger sister. I'm one of six, so I'm annoying middle kid.
you're
No one knows me.
Your parents really like to fuck.
Basically, well, two of them are different father, but whatever. I
But you've got 4.
have 3 kids.
3. Oh, I spoiled
kids.
the end of the podcast. Sorry.
No, my wife is not my child.
No. Oh, okay. Never mind. She had a secret. She's texting me something. We'll talk about it later.
Cool, awesome. So, anyway,
She'll talk to you about it later.
exactly.
Oh my God.
One of my kids is trying to interrupt this. Can you guys close the door, please? Thank you. All right.
One of Matt's cats is really trying to interrupt this.
Yeah, I get you.
They just
So,
were like, hey, let's start wrestling and let's do it right under Matt's fucking chair.
One of the jobs I got sent, or at least like, hey, maybe you should do this, seemed totally not me.
Pinky Stop!
What's he doing?
He's seductively licking his fingers.
He doesn't know how to seduce.
That's true. But somehow he knows how to do
I
it.
bet he's the best
God
at it
damn it.
because he's
You know,
just
it's
like
that.
a,
It's
an
that.
outside
It's those
observer.
Biden glasses. What can I say? They're sending.
No, he needs a house twink.
It's
And
true.
I already said I'd apply, but he won't take my application.
All right.
Won't call me back.
It's true. I tried to sign up for his house twink on Mastodon, but I couldn't figure it out.
John, you're more of a bear, and TJ, you're more of an otter.
All right. Anyway,
but I'm definitely
I
a
know
sub.
bear.
Anyway, so I got sent a position in Marinette County, Wisconsin,
Okay.
for an assistant medical examiner. At first, I thought there's no way that I am qualified for this, but I went through it, and the qualifications for an assistant medical examiner in Marinette County is United States citizenship, 18 years of age or older, no felony convictions in any court in U.S. unless pardoned of conviction, high school diploma or equivalent,
Okay.
death investigation training through the state of Wisconsin, but within 6 months of the appointment. So I don't have to have that now.
No, you could get
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Insurance acceptable driver's license. Prefer training or experience in the emergency medical technician nursing related field. That's a preference.
Yeah.
Not even a requirement.
Cool.
Uh-huh.
It's a part-time on-call position, $19.68 per hour, 2 hours minimum pay per call, and then anytime I'm on call, it's just a free $1 per hour.
TJ, I think you need to do that job because
Yeah.
you're going to get to see a lot of cool dead bodies.
Yeah.
Yes, and considering I watched someone die at one of my jobs,
That's
and I had
true.
a gun in my face, I'm set for this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
it's true.
basically got all the training there. They might
So-
even promote you to detective right away.
That's a different department.
I don't know. I haven't seen those TV shows in a while.
Oh, I gotcha. Dung dung.
Dun, dun, dun,
But-
dun.
But I looked for just because I've been looking in Dane County as perfect timing. Because I've been looking in Dane County in the Madison area because I've wanted to go back there eventually.
Medical exam.
Wait, hold on,
The-
hold
the-
on, hold on. Comedy rule of threes, you guys.
All right, thank you.
The equivalent position, which is open right now in Dane County, requires, I think, a master's degree and something like 4 years of medical experience. So,
Yeah.
um,
That reminds me of like the old days where I think it was coroner was just like an elected position, so you didn't have to have any medical training, and you were just
Yep.
like, oh yeah, clearly this was a suicide. Really,
Not
got
only
shot in
was
the back of
that
the
the
head
case-
3 times.
Not only was that the case, that is still the case in the
in a
town I
lot
grew
of
up
counties. Yeah.
in. Mhm. In the county I grew up in, that's still the case.
Oh man.
And the fun fact about the coroner, typically, if they do like the cookie cutter like law enforcement layout, the only person that can arrest the county sheriff is the coroner, and that is the only person the coroner can legally arrest.
That's crazy.
So,
I
now
don't
we're
know
talking.
why, but that's just the way it is in certain counties.
Now I'm talking about a small county in northeastern Wisconsin. It's the same one I grew up in. How do you think I applied to this job?
In person. Or writing a letter.
It is by mail or by email to a generic MC resume at marinettecounty.com.
Oh,
Not
wow.
even directly to a person.
I imagine you just get a lot of the stuff they're dealing with is like, here's a shut-in that we didn't find until it's been decomposing for 4.5 weeks. Have fun.
Probably. Oh, and then people with mental illness that were killed by their parents. Guarantee it.
What? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Small town murder parents?
Baby killers by shaking. You know, it's that's what I'm expecting.
Oh
here.
yeah, babies. Yeah,
And,
I forgot
and then
how
all
fragile they are.
and then all the old people that die in the nursing homes. Oh, what we got? We got a Kanye update.
What?
What's the
West
I don't know.
children will never do Playboy. West,
What a
and just a picture of Kanye and his kids.
what the
So, oh yeah, okay. I just got that 29 seconds ago. So we may be heating up again. So I got some information from a very non-reputable news outlet, but it is the Daily Mail.
Oh,
But it sounds like that there was rumored that his wife threatened to divorce him and they were having an argument earlier in the day.
Mm.
So,
is it because he's trying his best to trash his brand and not make any more money?
That is such an amazing photo, by the way, that Spanky has up. The lady who sat down nude in front of a bunch of cops.
Yep.
And then the cops drove away.
Yeah, we were talking about horny Twitter, and that was when this updated. It's not there anymore, but in my what's happening, there was that. So I figured I would bring that up and show the watchers.
Why did he tweet out Halle Berry?
I think he was comparing the search results of Halle Berry and Jennifer Lawrence, where
Got
it
it.
was like
That
Halle
makes
Berry
sense.
might be dating somebody, and Jennifer Lawrence is like, here's all the biography stuff. And
Now, to be fair to Jennifer Lawrence, she did get married last year, so maybe that's it.
And to be fair to Halle Berry, she has not been in good movies.
So I don't know what's going on with Kanye, but it's not going well.
Sorry, Mr. West.
Yeah, dude, get some help, please. That's all.
So the only other thing is that when you go to when you look at Google, the way that they handle this shit, Halle Berry has like a top stories in her overview, and Jennifer Lawrence just goes straight to images. There's no stories or anything. I don't really know. Oh, someone tweeted at Kanye West doing a search of Harriet Tubman, I guess.
That's where he got his info from, man.
Man,
anyway,
this story is going to continue to develop.
So yeah, I'll go ahead and let you know how many dead bodies I'll touch. So,
all right, cool.
Because I'm definitely going to apply to this.
I would love to hear if you get any of those jobs. So if you ever need a guy to be your reference, feel free.
Yeah, I got you on 2 right now.
Even though we worked together like a million years ago.
Yeah. And
did we?
If you ever need a guy to lie about...
You were working for Edgewood the same time I was working for Edgewood, so...
Well, I guess technically working for Edgewood, yeah. So I guess that works.
Yeah. You were in the sports information department, right?
Well, yeah, that's when I was working for Edgewood, not going to Edgewood. I was in sports information, yes.
There you go.
Otherwise, I had jobs as a student. Oh, that reminds me of one position I applied for in Dane County, which had a ridiculous amount of questions I had to answer. And one of them, which I actually just said available upon request, asked for 4 references, not family, not relatives, not previous coworkers or previous supervisors that can vouch for your character, this, and that. And they wanted names, addresses, phone numbers, email address, and previous addresses if they've moved in the past 5 years. I'm like, what? It's like, you want to know my close friends. That's essentially what they're saying. And what they don't realize is men don't have close friends that they didn't work with.
Yeah, I don't have any friends.
It's not manly if you fucking talk to people if you don't fucking sweat next to them when you're on the roof, building the roof of the house, doing manly labor. What do I look like to you? A bitch?
Matt just posted in general, and I looked at the old picture that John reposted from before. Sorry, not John, Spanky reposted from before. And I just want to say, where's my bison?
Where's my bison?
Yeah.
Oh, man. The way I said that just made me think of Liam Neeson and, the Taken movies.
Yeah.
What a day. God, and I brought a thing I wanted to talk about.
And today's been a long week.
So you're a homeowner now, right?
Wait, update.
I'm a homosexual.
Update. He's now Googled righteous indignation.
No, he Googled Critchios indignation and it autocorrected to righteous indignation.
And there's the picture of Donald Sutherland from the Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Nice.
Okay, so now that you're a homeowner, you'll probably start experiencing getting lots of bullshit like spam mail all the time because
Yeah.
you own a home.
Yep.
And so they're like, hey, you have an address that is like public now, so we can just like send you shit. So I got this in the mail, and it's been a hell of a read. It's the Epic Times.
Oh yeah, the
Epoch
Epic
Times.
Times.
Oh,
Did
I've
you know
heard
that
of
the
that
Epic
shit.
Times?
So
It is. They spend
I
a
got a
fuck ton of money.
sample sent to my house.
Yeah, so they spend a fuck ton of money on YouTube ads that play. So because I'm a crazy person and I like have everything, I have no accounts and I delete all my caches and things and I randomize my MAC address and I do all this bullshit whenever I use the internet. When I go to YouTube, it has no idea who I am, doesn't know my recent, it doesn't know anything, and I get Epic Times ads all the fucking time because the way that it works is when you give an ad to Google, you say, who do you want to target? Oh, I want to target gamers. I want to target whatever. Epic Times is just like fucking anybody. Anyone you can put this video in front of, fucking target them. And they put a shitload of money into it. So I get their ads all the time. I looked them up once, and they start off as like weird Chinese religious, like Chinese pro-capitalist religious group. And then they've decided to make a newspaper in like the 80s or something. And now they like kind of masquerade as like the real news, who lets you decide for yourself with the true facts without the spin of the media. But it's also like literally just like Breitbart diet.
Yeah, apparently they're big into the QAnon stuff.
What's
They got banned.
Yeah.
Their ads are banned from Facebook, which means you really fucked up.
So, okay, I'm going to read this because it's reversed on my camera. But so here's the Epic Times, dear reader. Here's the Epic Times special edition for you to enjoy. This is a little pamphlet that was put in with a mailing. Obviously, they don't want. Oh, dude, oh, it's not. Now, if I wish this was already stamped, but they want me to put my own money on a stamp, which sucks because if it wasn't, I would just cut out some like anime waifu bullshit that I print out and put it in there. Because that's a fun thing to do when you get spam mail, because if they already pay for the postage, they don't have to pay unless you actually post it. So that way you're making them pay for sending you garbage. So here we go. Dear reader.
Wait a minute. No, I sorry. I've heard that not only do they have to pay, but if there's weight limits on like the envelope, like if you send them just like a cut piece of sheet metal that'll fit into an envelope, they have to pay the amount it takes to like cover the extra stamps to put on it for the weight.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Dear reader, here are the Epic Times special edition for you to enjoy. It consists of contents published previously at the Epic Times. So this isn't like an actual like weekly edition.
It's like the Reader's Digest version.
It's like the best of the like recent few months. Our weekly issue has news, life, tradition, business opinion, and mind-body section. In today's age of severe media bias, this piece of media, like I always love it when a media outlet is talking about media bias being a bad thing. It's that Spider-Man pointing at himself meme. I moved the camera. I'm gesturing over there, but I moved the camera here. I gotta switch the Discord window to this because I'm like pointing at you guys when I'm talking to you. So
that's fine. I'm gonna look at you, John. You're fine.
Thank you. So no spin, no bias, no agenda, except for to restore faith in the freedom of the press. Well, I mean, that all sounds pretty good. Restore faith in the freedom of the press. Seeking the truth, grounding all statements in facts, preventing people from being misinformed and misled. The Epic Times is a return to traditional and authentic journalism. No communism is the first bullet they have. Uncovering the devastating effects of communism throughout this nation. The famous communist nation, the U.S. And
I do have some updates that are very juicy.
Just let me finish this page and we'll go. Rooted in traditional values, chasing the truth tirelessly in order to uphold a moral society grounded in virtue. Third, unbiased coverage of President Trump. White House reporters cover the administration without spin, bias, or hidden agendas. I like that they also have a little Trump face on there, like a little right there, little Trumpy boy. And then fair and factual reporting, presenting with all the facts and context without bias. This costs $140 a year to get this, and it looks like it's monthly. It must be. No, every week. 1 print paper and 5 e-papers to your email. Unfortunately, you have to use your own postage, which sucks because I wanted to send them garbage. Or just like poop and then get some on my hands and wipe it on a piece of paper and put it in the envelope.
You could just like when you're walking your dog, just get like a blank piece of paper and just like grab some shit. Although that makes me feel bad for the postal workers, though.
Yeah, exactly.
They have to touch shitty paper.
So, I mean, I'm gonna have to read more of this, but it might just infuriate me.
To be fair, Spanky, they did already touch shitty paper.
It seems very, very like you got a police being handcuffed by not allowing cops to like do enough stuff now. Like, so the pro police on the front, pro stock market, saying analysts are saying that it's not going to be so bad after all. Life and Times, well, Life and Tradition. Some old fucking ladies here.
They're not.
Oh, I bet you this is an article on lesbians, and those two are lovers, right?
Yeah,
it could be. No, these are just two separate people that
they're just good friends.
Well, okay, now some of this isn't bad. Like, I mean, obviously, this is like USA Today kind of stuff because you got like an article on how training service dogs help veterans to heal and the importance of telling children fairy tales.
Yeah, this is like headline news shit.
Yeah, exactly. This is like children's stuff.
It's like something you'd buy at a supermarket checkout.
How can you dislike this article?
I can't.
Look at all them puppies. Look at them puppies. Anyway,
so, at my high school, they had a TV in the lunchroom, and they only turned it on at breakfast time. And the only thing it was ever turned on to was HLN headline news. And there was literally like that channel is nothing political or useful. It's all like, here's some fucking soldiers coming back and their dogs reacting to them. We're gonna talk about this for 15 minutes. And I still had one teacher who was so fucking crazy. It was like, this liberal fucking network that's owned by CNN, always playing, is gonna fucking turn our kids into liberals. And it did. Look at me. I'm gonna throw that out there.
Yeah. Now it's a lot of like, here's a video of a squirrel water skiing that we got off YouTube.
Now they've got comics in here. They got a comic section. I want you to guess what the first comic is in the comic section.
Dilbert.
Now, you can guess it.
Dilbert.
Anyone else?
It's
Garfield.
that one guy.
Peanuts.
It's Dilbert for sure. And then Garfield, and then a bunch of other. It's just like regular comics. Okay. So I want you to know that they got that. We got. Trump delivers a magnificent speech. The narrative wants to shout it down, says Roger Kimball. The speech that he gave at the whatever.
Okay.
Mount Rushmore. See, there's some stuff here that is good though. Beijing's national security laws and all-out assault on Hong Kong, says human rights activist. Like, I'm for that. Hong Kong rights.
So here's. The origins of the Times is a Chinese religious group that was opposed to communism and was pro-capitalism. That's why they'll be anti-China.
Got it. But the anti-China is also talking about how it's China's fault that there's a global pandemic, which is that. I mean, they hate communism. I gotta give them that. They're talking about, here we go, universal basic income explained. I'm sure this isn't slanted in any way. I'm in the opinion section, so I gotta give them credit there. I can't say that the stuff being slanted is their fault when it's in the opinion section. And we got mind and body, and we got here's what every guy who buys this paper looks like. A 50 to 60-year-old white man, and it's.
I don't know. You've probably got like the PragerU fucking big brains buying shit like that.
Like, it doesn't seem to be. I mean, I was expecting. Oh, harmful ideas that weaken Gen Z. Ooh. What's going on with Gen Z?
Participation trophies.
Oh, man, I tell you.
Is Gen Z and Zoomer the same thing?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think
so. We're not talking about how millennials are ruining stuff anymore. Now we're like talking about Gen Z.
I will say that this paper seems generally the least offensive out of like all the Fox News type stuff I can think about.
That's just because you're turning into a Republican.
No, they may have given me the sample is just the least offensive stuff that they can do. It just seems very pro.
Next week, John's going to be like,
government.
I subscribe to One American News Network, and it's pretty balanced. It's pretty middle of the road.
So, here's a story that I just learned about because I'm on Twitter for the first time in ever since the last time I was on the podcast, basically. You guys remember in the primary whenever Joe Rogan endorsed Bernie and a lot of people Joe Rogan's kind of shitty. It's probably bad that Bernie allowed someone to endorse him. And without asking, people were ditching on Bernie. It has just been confirmed, I guess recently, that John Kasich, Republican governor of Ohio, who shut down over half of that state's abortion clinics, he's endorsed Joe Biden. John Kasich has endorsed Joe Biden, and they're letting John Kasich speak at the DNC.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But that's okay because of unity. But Joe Rogan endorses Bernie without Bernie asking him to, and he's got to apologize for that shit.
Yeah, it's almost like everybody wanted to line up against Bernie for no reason other than it would fuck up the system that put them into power.
So there is an article, message from schools about reopening. We're ready to go. So they want them schools reopening.
You have to let me update the Kanye watch situation because I'm exploding right now.
But you guys, the U.S. is vulnerable to China rare earth monopoly, researchers find. Wait, I have one page left. Okay, yep, pro Hong Kong stuff. A lot of that in here. This is here's the editor-in-chief. Could you meet a more fucking penis man than this guy? Hello.
I'm John Penisman.
I've got facts and logic. What a fucking loser.
He hasn't slept with his wife in 3 years.
Yeah, but I have.
We're not talking about you.
No, that's longer.
Okay.
Hey, sorry.
Kanye watch.
I haven't slept with
Kanye watch.
3 years.
Play the audio. You gotta play the Chiron. Thank you.
All right, let me update so I get my refresh so I get my times right. Okay, 10 minutes ago. So Kanye does this thing where he doesn't use periods, I guess. He just puts a tab, or, if he's cool, he puts 4 spaces in instead of a tab. But he says, I love my wife, space, 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 space. My wife or my family must live next to me, space, 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 space. It's not up to E or NBC anymore talking about the television networks.
Yep. I want to read the next tweet. I want to read it. Yep.
Okay.
NBC locked up Bill Cosby.
Yup. And then
1 minute after that, go ahead.
Kim
Matt.
was trying to fly to Wyoming with a doctor to lock me up on the movie Get Out because I cried about saving my daughter's life yesterday. Which, the most disturbing part about this to me is he really misunderstands Get Out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's bringing it up because when he started going hardcore pro Trump, everybody was like, he got Get Outed. But
yeah,
he seems to think it's being forced to take medication.
So wait, what did he cry about his daughter?
I don't know. I think it has something to do with that Playboy stuff, but I don't know why, because his daughters are 8.
Here we go. I almost killed my daughter.
He basically he had a rally, which was fucking wild because unlike Trump, where you just make sure it's only filled with your supporters, he just let fucking anyone in, and there was people booing him and shit. It was not under control. It was weird, and he was wearing a bulletproof vest that said security on it. It's a very weird situation, and he did this screaming rant about how abortion is murder and how they were talking about if they wanted to have the kid, and he basically screams I almost murdered my daughter, something like that.
That was it. So he was probably thinking about an abortion, basically.
Yes.
And then they chose not to do that.
Okay.
And then in typical Kanye freakout fashion, it's difficult to understand what he's actually saying, even if you can understand every word of what he's saying.
So him doing that tweet is they're coming to try and get him medicated because his rally was a shit show, but he's just reducing that down to like the daughter thing. That makes sense. I'm sure. That's
I mean, he's having a hard time. You know, I hope he's okay. But
no comment on NBC locked up Bill Cosby, John?
I mean, I don't even know what that means.
I don't either. And because of it, Bill Cosby is trending on Twitter, I guess, because of Kanye. I'm so confused about what's happening.
Was the Cosby Show on NBC? Or I thought that was like CBS.
I think he might be making a false. Otherwise, I was thinking he was making a false equivalence for MSNBC versus NBC, the whole network.
Did you guys know Bill Cosby still has a Twitter account?
It was on NBC. I think I'm confused because I think Viacom owns it though, which is not NBC now.
Yeah, that's CBS.
That's CBS. That's why it's so confusing that there's all these old sitcoms that are on NBC that are now on like CBS All Access and stuff because they own the rights to them. Because I think NBC used to be partnered with Viacom for production.
Before the merger with Universal, I guess.
Yeah, like lots of crazy shit.
Well, and then there's also the situation where like a lot of this shit can be on Disney Plus now. Because even if a show was on NBC, Fox Studios usually makes the shows and they just license them out to NBC. Yeah,
that's like
the rights run out, they revert to Fox, which means they revert to Disney.
Yeah, that was one of the crazy things about like Brooklyn Nine-Nine was that was on Fox for, airing, but NBC Universal was the production company. So then now that it's switched back to NBC, it's like, we'll just put it on NBC. Because Fox canceled it. Because we own the rights to it, because we are the production company. But now I don't know what they're going to do. Nobody wants to watch that show.
So I know Spanky hates it, but there was a little bit of gaming news this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was a Nintendo Mini Direct for...
I watched that.
Yeah, I did too, because it was super short and nice and simple to watch.
More Bakugan facts?
I did.
No, because it's all third party. It was all just their partners. For this.
Yeah, it was a partner, and like one of my friends texted me like, Nintendo didn't even release anything. I'm like, it was a partner preview or something like that. I think they were just contractually obligated to release this.
Well, no, they said they're going to be doing a number of these. That's only the first. Partner, just trying to, because I only remember the big two.
Well, while you're finding that, another thing that's been interesting this year because of the pandemic and E3 being canceled, it seems like every game company is now turning into what's it called? Nintendo. Because every company is like, we're going to do our own like directs now, basically.
Mm-hmm. And people made fun of Nintendo so much when Nintendo started that, and then now that it's the coronavirus, it's like, fuck, we have to do the exact same thing, and we ragged on it for years.
So it was a simple direct for the most part. Started off with DLC coming to Cadence of Hyrule, which is the Crypt of the Necrodancer spin-off on Nintendo. Mm-hmm. They've got a character pack, which is out today. And then there's a melody pack and a new story, Symphony of the Mask, both coming out before the end of October. And they're coming out with a physical copy of the game, which will have all the DLC on it. And then they talked more about Rogue Company, which was a third-person online multiplayer shooter, cross-platform that I don't know if it has come out or first has come out or is coming out, but it sounds like here's more stuff about it. It kind of looks like if Rainbow Six Siege was a free-to-play.
There was a WWE game that looked kind of fun, but also the character designs for it was like, how can we make like American chibi wrestlers and also like Uncanny Valley at the same time? Well, it was really disturbing to look at.
There's two directions to come from this, because they had WWE All-Stars on last-gen systems, Xbox 360, PS3, but this is part of the 2K Playground series of games. They decided to jump into WWE for that, because what else do they got besides golf, which is coming out later this year? And I'm going to go ahead and freaking try that, because I love me some golf, but it looks interesting. They had some actual wrestlers playing the game, and then so first of all, that Rogue Company isn't free to play, so there are but it looks like it will eventually be free to play, but the starter pack is $15. And then the last thing is that they showed off that the PS2 cult classic Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne is getting a full remaster for the Switch. And both it and Shin Megami Tensei 5, which has been previously announced for Switch, are going to be launched worldwide next year. The Nocturne remaster will be in the spring, and they didn't even have a season for Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Okay.
And Megami Tensei, that's basically what Persona is a spin-off of.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a lot more. It's a lot more dark, a lot more demon-y, but it's got the same demons that all the Persona games have.
Cool. Anything else from that Nintendo? I saw anything else exciting, I guess?
I mean, that was it from the
It's
mini
not part of
direct.
Direct, but Paper Mario: The Origami King is out, and I've played 2 chapters of it now, and it's very fucking good.
Yeah, my wife's been playing that.
Is that a good place to like get into Paper Mario, or should
No.
I try and
None
find
of them
all
are
the ones?
connected. None of them are connected, so
Yeah, it doesn't
jump into
matter.
whichever. So here's what I recommend to you. If you like RPGs, like turn-based RPGs, start with Thousand Year Door. If you like the aesthetic of Paper Mario but don't really care much for turn-based RPGs, go to Super Paper Mario on the Wii. And if you just want to get the latest one because it's the newest and will be the most modern, have the most modern shit in it, you can get this because it's not a turn-based RPG exactly. It's kind of like a puzzle RPG.
Okay.
There's no experience or anything like that.
Yeah,
So
I thought
there's no grinding.
I thought it was more like a side scroller. I guess I didn't understand what Paper
That's
Mario
Super
was.
Paper
Oh, okay.
Mario. Super Paper Mario is a side. Well, it's not exactly a side scroller, but it's a lot of it is a.
Okay. Cool.
Did you ever play Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo?
I did.
The first Paper Mario was the spiritual sequel to
Yeah.
that game.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And every time they made a new one, they've strayed further from the light.
Well, except for Thousand Year
No,
Door. I like
would
that one.
say, I would say Thousand Year Door is just an evolution. Personally, it's my first one is my favorite game of all time. But Thousand
I
Year
thought
Door
all games are
sticks-
bad.
No, there's one good game. It's
And
Paper
it's World
Mario
of
for the Nintendo
Warcraft
64.
Classic.
Well, let's talk about WoW Classic, y'all.
Hey,
No.
You guys like some WoW Classic?
Well,
I played
we'll
about
probably talk about it in a couple weeks once the new raid drops.
Yeah.
That's
Then I'll
true.
stop
I did
being
wanna
bored
mention,
with it.
I got really shit faced one night and just logged into WoW Classic and ran Wailing or whatever the fuck that was. Mardon with y'all. And like I woke up in the morning, I'm like, did I play WoW Classic last night?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You woke
I
up
don't
in
remember
bed
anything
next
we talked
to-
about.
7 or 8 years.
You woke up in bed next to the World of Warcraft
I got a
disc
couple-
from
I got a
2005.
I got a couple bits of COVID news before I move on,
Oh, good.
Okay.
and then we'll be done. So my science corner.
Yes, science.
So there was a press release today. This is a pre-publish of a study that was put out. So it hasn't been peer reviewed yet, but it will be. It seems like it makes sense in terms of like looking at the data myself. They were able to prove statistical significance with their treatment, and it was a double-blind randomized trial. So the gold standard in terms of clinical trials. So a double-blind trial means that the people giving the drug and the people receiving the drug both don't know if it's the placebo or not. So
Okay.
there's basically no way that there can be a bias based on the placebo effect on that. So, and you don't see that in a lot of times with these studies because it's basically like, well, we need to figure out something, to help these people. So, but this is an already existing drug that is just an experimental drug that was, I believe, used for multiple sclerosis. Now that's hard to say. Multiple sclerosis
Yeah.
drug that is basically it's an antiviral drug because multiple sclerosis is when your body basically attacks its own cells, And so this is basically an anti-immune response, because one of the problems with I have to get a better article, because this BBC article is terrible. New COVID drug, because it's actually pretty neat. New studies clarify what drugs are.
Retrovirus.
It's not that. Here
Because
we go. I'm
it's
just going to read the New
retro.
York Times
That's
article.
the one that's like wearing platform shoes and.
Oh, this is an inhaler drug.
Yeah.
The drug based on interferon
I
beta.
love inhaling drugs.
IFB, which is a protein naturally produced by the body, which basically is kind of the precursor to your immune response. Basically is found that it actually helps a lot with this, because one of the reasons why the coronavirus is such a problem is because when it gets into your body, it has the ability to block your natural interferon response, basically disarming the alarm cells in your body. So it allows the virus to kind of progress without being attacked by your immune system for a long time, and to the point where it gets deep into your lungs, and then your immune system finally catches up and starts going over, haywire and crazy, and you get super inflammation, you get pneumonia, and you die from ARDS, which is a respiratory distress syndrome, and you can't breathe. Basically, you're basically drowned in your own lungs. Yeah, it's not a good. It's just a flu. So anyway, it's a real nasty thing that can happen. I mean, most people's immune systems are robust enough, or you don't have enough comorbidities that when you get a bad infection, you're not going to die. Again, must stress: 99% of the people that get this are going to not die. But for that unlucky few, it really can destroy you. But what they're finding with this drug is basically it is allowing your interferon response to work like it normally should against a virus, which seems to be, it's a small study. I think it's just a few, I'd have to look at it's just a brief news release. They don't actually have the full study because it's not peer reviewed yet, but I think that's going to be happening. But they did find 9 different British hospitals that 79% of people that received this versus people that received the placebo didn't need ventilation. So it basically stopped the virus from getting to a point where you're basically, when you get on a ventilator, when you get this, it's basically, hopefully your body doesn't shut down before the virus is killed. It's a waiting game. Mm-hmm. So this is a point where it's basically can help you to get there. And it sounds like it's pretty good. They were able to get enough people in the study to get it to be statistically significant. So I don't know if there is a way to get this, though, because I think it might be a really expensive or rare drug. But it's one of those things that's like, that's why we got to close the schools, man. We need to get these treatments figured out before things happen. And so when we do want to open things up and people do get sick, Jesus, Matt, your cat is just pissed off about the Rona.
Yeah.
I get it. It's your home all the time.
They're
right?
all,
that's why.
Yeah, they fucking hate me. They're like,
that's why you're home all the time.
Can you get a job, please? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, so, but it's like an inhaled, it's like you get a nebulizer and breathe it in. Supposedly it works. So that's really good. I guess it was originally developed for or at least the inhaled version, because it was originally an injectable drug used for multiple sclerosis, but this was for people. The inhaled version is for people with COPD. I just caught a fly in my hand, and flu and asthma and other things. So gross, smushed fly.
Hip hop and rap trending right now. Phrase: what is Kanye?
Cool.
So if you don't know what Kanye is, so there's just good news in that front. I wanted to bring that up.
Now, is there some brand of pool cleaner that I can find this drug in? Just to save money and inject that instead.
Or some bleach, which apparently,
we
can talk about.
This will be very, very, very bad. And the other thing too was I saw a bunch of news articles saying, BBC reports British vaccine trial shows an immune response to the virus, and it's like, yeah, that's old news. The Moderna vaccine already did that. That's stage 2. That's phase 2 of the trial. So they're catching up to the front runner at that point. It's not anything new. It's just another one looks to be promising enough to move into widespread trials.
But no, you guys, healthcare in America is so expensive because we have to pay for all like trials and stuff that are developed here.
Sure, that's how it works. All right, guys, we got to talk about Avatar, I guess.
Oh, I hit the right button.
There we go.
All right, 2 hours into the podcast, although a half hour that will be cut out because there was a good half hour garbage. Although I will have to clip some of the Spanky.
It was kind of the best.
Hey, the stream is very quiet, says our chat.
I don't know.
Probably. Matt,
it is definitely not quiet on my computer. I just checked it real quick just to make sure.
Nice filter.
Oh,
Spanky.
yes. Thank you,
Nice.
Spanky. Spanky got the Avatar filter. All right, so we're going to talk about 5 episodes of the Avatar. Episodes, 10 through 15? 11 through 15?
10 through 14.
11 through 15.
11 through 14.
11 through
14? 15? 15 on this.
Well,
No, we have to talk about 15.
Right.
Robbie.
But I was just thinking, like, that was 14 on Netflix or something. The number.
Yeah, Netflix did just
Ignore
smash
Netflix
episodes together.
numbers.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
So we're just going off of the let's see, your book 2 Earth. Okay, I'm gonna look up episodes. Okay, so 11 was, so we finished the library. Yes. So we had a cliffhanger. Oh wait, are you figuring out what Avatar character you are there, Spanky?
Yeah,
Is
that was
what
a tap to stop the spinner. Which Avatar character are you?
Got it.
All right. I guess I better do it too.
So we left our heroes the desert, the library that they found sunk into the desert. Oh, Momo. Oh, god damn it. You guys, come on. We're talking. This gets delayed enough. You got to tap it to stop.
I'm trying. Okay.
You're Aang.
Max.
Dude, that means we have to kiss each other now because I got fucking Katara.
That's
Me
fine.
and
Spoilers.
TJ are gonna like.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
I
that's
think
the
it's
wrong
Avatar.
Avatar.
No.
How's that?
10 out of 10 cosplay. Good job.
All right.
Check it out. It has a version for if you shaved your head so that you could really sell it and it goes all the way to the top. But
Nice.
I'm currently got it on won't spoiler, I guess.
Yeah. Shh.
No.
Don't talk about season 3. All right.
I mean, I almost did a Zuko cosplay this week, so we got that.
Guys, we have to get through this. It is late.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
so Avatar. It's like this
All right.
planet full of blue people, and then
Okay.
they need to get unobtainium. It's
fucking
like the
kill me.
Marines from StarCraft need to get some
You guys end this
unobtainium.
podcast. I'm going
And
to bed. All right.
So where's my bison?
Yes.
where's my bison?
Where's my bison?
Give me my bison.
So
I have
the
a particular
Appa was
set of
kidnapped,
skills.
and they're basically trapped in the middle of the desert. And then we gotta speed through this because we don't got time.
Yeah.
Sokka drinks hallucinogenic cactus juice.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
He
and
goes
fucking-
peyote tripping.
Yeah, he goes on a little peyote trip. And kind of flies around and like blows up, makes a mushroom cloud in the desert because he's angry. The Appa's gone. And that's the kind of
I will
them.
say,
They're
when you watch
trying to find a way out of the desert. Go
When
ahead.
you watch episode 11,
Mhm.
it's like Aang is super pissed off
Mhm.
and goes into Avatar state and
Mhm.
only gets calmed down by Katara. And he's like, before he does it, he's like, "Where's my bison?" And he's all really pissed off about it. And then the next episode is like them just chilling out in a lake and like doing cannonballs and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get that in like broadcasting time, there was time in between that, so it wasn't so jarring. But I
Yeah.
just had it on autoplay, and it's like, fucking, I'm gonna go Avatar mode and kill you sons of bitches for taking my bison.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then it's like, credits, and then it's like, skip the credits, and it's like, we're swimming!
Yeah. And so then the B plot, you have Zuko and Iroh are now back together after I think Iroh's wounds have healed enough that they're traveling. And he goes to and this is where you learn a little bit more about the Order of the White Lotus, because you've been talking about like the game Pai Sho, which is like the Go or shogi kind of game that they play in the world, and about how the White Lotus is his favorite piece or whatever, like that's his thing. But it turns out there's a Order of the White Lotus, basically, and he goes to the back room and they talk about shit because he's that, and Zuko isn't let in because he's not a member. And then that is Iroh. Iroh emerges and he's like, all right, well, we can sneak into Ba Sing Se as refugees with I'm assuming you got like fake passports and stuff through the White Lotus. So that's what they're going to be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Aang has tracked down a bit the I guess sandbenders, or he finds some sandbenders, I guess,
which is difficult because they travel in single file to hide their numbers.
That's true. But he was able to find them. No, they fight some. Oh no, that's it. They fight the buzzard wasps, which is what they found, because they're like looking for something, and they find this big mountain, and there's sap, but it tastes like rotten penguin meat, says Sokka, and so they're mad. But then these fucking buzzard, so they're like what? They're like wasp bodies, but like buzzard heads.
They're buzzards.
And then that's when the sandbenders show up, because they're like, what the fuck's going on? And then Aang's like, you took my Bai, son. And then fights them and destroys a bunch of their ships. And then the guy the son confesses that he took up the bison without knowing it was
because Toph heard his voice. Recognized his voice.
Like, oh, I recognize that voice. That guy was one of the people that stole it. And then, so now he knows. Oh yeah, and then the whirlwind dissipates.
Like, how can you? Sure. And then Toph's like, because I'm fucking the prodigy deaf or the prodigy blind. What do you think? I'm deaf too?
Yeah.
Fuck.
And so then he gets in the Avatar state and freaks out, and then Katara like hugs him, and he's fine. That's what happens.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next.
Episode 11 is a really good one for Iroh and
yes.
What's his face? Kyoto. Kazuko. Kazuhira.
So the Serpent's Pass is the 12th episode. My favorite part about the Serpent's Pass is that you're like, it's called the Serpent's Pass because it's this really long, thin, narrow land bridge that looks like a serpent.
You'd think that.
Guess what? Secret extra serpent.
Yo, dog, I heard you like serpents.
So, yeah. So basically, Avatar's like, hey, people are impersonating him, so they're trying to get to Ba Sing Se, right? Same place Zuko and Iroh are going to.
Yeah, because they heard that Appa would be there.
Yeah, they heard Appa was probably sold to someone in Ba Sing Se. So they're like, all right, let's go to Ba Sing Se. Let's get on the fucking ferry to Ba Sing Se. But you need like a passport, and they meet like a lot of people. They meet Jet, Smellerby, and Longshot. Or no, they don't meet them.
Zuko and Iroh do.
Yeah,
on the boat.
Zuko and Iroh do, yes, but the group doesn't. Jet, Smellerby, and Longshot. The rest of the crew must be dead, gone. I don't know.
Refugee
It
Del
sounded
Square.
like I got the thought that they were dead.
Possibly.
Because they were like, we got to leave that behind after what happened or something. So,
yeah.
And I have my wife shut the door because...
My wife.
Well, you told my dog to get out of the room and she walked deeper in.
It sounds like a poorly trained
Hi,
dog.
Judy.
I blame
Hi,
your parents.
Judy. Hey, Judy. Hey, Judy. She just wants to be with me.
Is that Judy?
Judy.
Holy
yes.
shit.
Trust me, we'll get into that. All right, go. All right. My dog finally left my side. All right. That's what dogs are great for. They just love being around you. All right. So they were gonna like get tickets on the boat. Zuko and Iroh meet Jet and Smellerby and Longshot, and they're like, all right, well, let's just tell their whole storyline. So they get on a fucking ferry, and you kind of learn a little bit about how Ba Sing Se is, because like the rich captain has like all this food, and all these people in the lower decks basically just have to like eat garbage basically until they get to Ba Sing Se. Kind of showing you the cash.
Iroh then has a moment
system
where he asks what Smellerby's name is, and Smellerby says Smellerbee, and Iroh's like, "That's a fucking weird name for a young man." And then Smellerbee's like, "Fuck you, I'm a woman." And then Longshot goes and stares at her. And she's like, "You're right, Longshot. I really should accept myself for who I am and not worry about what other people think because I'm the only ones who like the thing that Longshot does is give really long sentences of encouragement and wisdom to people by just looking at them."
Yes.
And that scene. There's a lot of people who headcanon Smellerbee as a trans woman because of that.
Okay. Or wait, or not trans man?
No,
because she said she's a woman.
She says I'm a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's weird to me because he mistakes her for a man, though. Oh,
yes.
Okay, I guess I'm getting it now. It just took me a while to wrap that around my head. You're right, that makes sense. Sorry. Anyway, let's not worry about what Smellerbee.
Wait, trans women get mistaken for men? That happens?
By assholes.
Moving
Shut
on.
up. All right. It took me a while to pick
Where's
up
my
on
Biden?
that. All right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Switch back to the Biden filter.
Sorry. Guys, come on. We gotta get the fuck through this. So, Zuko, Jet, and Smellerbee sneak in the captain's fucking storeroom and liberate some food. And they're like, Jet's like, hey, this Zuko guy and Iroh are pretty cool because we both like beating up people that suck, basically. And that's what we have in common. And meanwhile, the fearsome foursome, Sokka gets to see Suki again, and they have a little bit more romance there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like the Kyoshi warriors are kind of helping out because there's a lot of refugees from the Earth Kingdom moving into Ba Sing Se because it's the safe place to be, everyone says. And so then they try and get a little passport to get on the boat, but they don't have it.
We meet the true villain of the Avatar series, bureaucracy.
Yes. That is very accurate.
Yeah.
But you see more of that in the Ba Sing Se arc.
And then
Doc
uses rich privilege to just fucking bypass the bureaucracy.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But then there is a pregnant woman, and her husband were hoping to get on, but passports were denied or something. And so Aang's like, fuck it. I'm going to go with them on the Serpent's Pass because I'm like the Avatar and a good person, and we should help these people out. And so then they're like, all right, let's go on the Serpent's Pass, basically. And it's just a big old long...
Oh, and at the entrance of the Serpent's Pass, there's a little gate, and on it is like abandon all hope here.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that sounds depressing. And he's like, we don't need hope. Maybe we should abandon it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and the
he gets all emo.
Aang is super edgy this episode.
Yeah,
right?
he is.
He's just like, man, my bison's gone. I don't have anything to fucking lose. I don't give a shit.
I forgot about the other stuff too.
The way the episode ends for Aang, when I watched it the first time, I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet." When I watched it the second time, I'm like, "This is fucking stupid."
Yeah. So here it is. Let's get to this. So, I forgot the Kyoshi warrior, or no, just Suki helps them get across, and so then Suki and him kind of have a moment one of the nights. And he's like, I don't want to kiss you. I'm not ready because he sees the moon.
My last girlfriend turned into the moon. It's kind of.
I have to self-fucking cock block myself by looking at the moon.
Yeah, he's
like,
I can't
do it because they never dated or anything. I
can't do it. My ex is watching me.
Yeah,
exactly.
We gotta wait until the next new moon, just so it's not ox.
But then at the end, he kisses her though. At the end, where he's like, I got over that shit, which is good. But yeah, here's the line that I got. They have the line exactly what Aang says. Katara helps deliver the baby because they end up having a baby, and then Katara's like, "Fucking, let's figure this shit out." Sokka looks at her vagina and almost passes out. Is one of the moments that happens. I think, right? Doesn't he like?
Yeah, basically.
That sounds right. I don't remember that. I'm sure it happened.
Anyway, Aang tears up and says, I've been going through a really hard time lately, but you've made me hopeful again. And then they named their new daughter Hope. Which I'm like, okay, that's a little bit.
No, but before that, there was another line that was, I want to name our daughter something unique, something that has meaning. in this world.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
like,
Name Meringue.
okay, so you want to name your daughter something unique, and then you're gonna go with Hope.
That could
After
be
you
a
just
brand
saw
new
a sign
name.
that said "Abandon all hope."
I mean,
and this
maybe
kid has
that's
been edgy and saying that hope is bad the whole time, and now that you have just hearing Aang say, "I've been going through a really rough time lately, and you make me hopeful again." It's like this writing. Now, again, the first time I saw that, because I wasn't like I knew where this was going. I was like, "Oh, that's cute." The second time when I was watching through it, and I'm like, "I know what happens here," and I was just paying attention to the quality of the writing. I was like, "This is terrible."
Yeah, I mean, it's a kid's show, and the writing is sometimes very good, and I think the plots are very well put together. Sometimes the dialogue is a bit. It's very on the nose.
They were trying to communicate that scene in a kindergarten reading.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, maybe nobody's ever been named Hope in that world before, so it could
That's
be a unique
possible.
name.
Names like Katara and Sokka and Toph.
Yeah. I wanted just a completely wild ass fucking name that nobody's heard of before. I'm gonna name her daughter William.
John. Thomas. All right. All right, so they finally make it to Ba Sing Se at the end of the Serpent's Pass thing, and it's like bum, 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 or whatever happens at the end of an episode when they see something on the horizon.
It's like
which
the
happens
Fire
in
Nation
every other
gopher
episodes. And it's the fucking Fire Nation fucking penis that's going to attack the city.
Mm-hmm.
It is literally trying to break through the hymen of Ba Sing Se.
Yeah. So
I don't know if that's literally what's happening.
So I don't want to say that Attack on Titan ripped off Avatar, but Ba Sing Se is basically the city from Attack on Titan.
Is that Titan? Is that the city?
I forget the name of the city in Attack on Titan.
Titan
It doesn't matter.
AE.
But anyway,
Titan
so they got a big giant
starring
walls
Will Smith.
basically, and this is why Ba Sing Se has never been taken, because it just has. Basically, it's like, okay, we have these massive walls, and also we have earthbenders that can like instantly fix all of the walls and continue to put up fortifications. Like, I mean, that's Earth as an element. It is the ultimate like stopping force.
It's the Battle of Helm's Deep.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we could probably speed through this episode because
half of it is big fight against the drill.
I was like, plot wise, like, okay, there's a drill.
We gotta stop this dang drill.
And they come up with a plan on how to stop the drill. And then also in the B plot, Jet is like, "Hey Zuko, you should join us as the freedom fighters." And then he sees that like Iroh heats up his tea using his hand, and he's like,
Well, he doesn't
firebenders.
see that. He sees Iroh has tea, and he's complaining about it being cold.
Cold, and then
And
it's
then
hot later. And
he
he's
turns
drinking it.
away. Yeah, and he turns away and comes back a couple seconds later to say something else, and then he's got hot tea.
Yeah. So he just is making connections there. Anyway, so yeah, the drill thing's pretty cool.
Yep.
Obviously, it's commanded by the fucking girl power squad.
Mm-hmm.
May, Ty Lee,
Teen
and
Girl
Azula.
Squad.
Yeah,
I forgot
Ty
how
Lee is
awesome
awesome.
Ty Lee is actually. As
Yeah.
a character.
This is the first episode where Ty Lee fucking kicks ass.
That's
Yep.
an acrobat, right?
Except for
get
the-
the names
Yeah.
mixed up. Okay.
Except for when Ty Lee gets like plugged up in a big pile of shit at one point
Yeah,
Matt,
in the
all you gotta remember
butthole of the drill.
is since I'm depressed, so is May.
Okay.
May is my bae. And
Yeah.
I just remember like fiery sociopath, hot topic girl, and acrobat.
yes, it's
I'm Hot
exactly
Topic.
right. Hot Topic girl is my.
Did you guys, since you guys are all fucking old, did you guys, any of you ever watch the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon?
No.
No,
I've seen
that's cool.
I've seen
I
an
think that was-
episode.
That was 80s, I think.
That was
Yeah.
like mid '80s, whereas the only cartoons I know from the '80s are like late '80s.
I was
like
born in
4 or
the
5.
mid 80s.
I'm
Well,
the oldest of this. I've seen an episode.
I was born
So-
in the '80s.
The theme song is like introducing the different the different jobs from Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
That are probably, we've got fighter and sorcerer and acrobat. That's what I think of
played
whenever
acrobat.
you describe Ty Lee as acrobat.
Yeah. But yeah, she does kick ass in this. But so anyway, their plan is we're going to sneak in because we can't do anything on the outside. It's basically impregnable.
Mm-hmm.
So they sneak in. We're going to destroy it from the inside.
They're going
And
to
their
impregnate it from the inside.
Their plan to destroy it from the inside is weaken all these like outer shell pillars using water bending to like cut metal.
Yeah,
And then
it's
and then
very like boss fight. Like we have to destroy
yeah.
these columns.
that was like strategy wise. Why don't we just destroy the engines? Like, wouldn't that like better than
Yeah,
like?
aren't they steam engines? So aren't we gonna just pop them with the water again?
At one point, they do destroy the engines because they fucking crack open a valve and push a bunch of like wastewater through it. From the grill, so like it kind of destroys the inside too. So it's like I don't think you really need to like destroy the shit.
Man, we have since talked about the penis drill. We've said the words impregnable and destroyed the inside. And
I think
once
what
we said a
happened
bunch
was,
of shit from the butthole, we've got a very like sex focused.
I think from the
episode
beginning,
here.
like one of the writers was like just obsessed with the idea of like cutting shit with a water torch, and they were just like, we have to work this into water bending at some point.
I like the Terra team, the like elite earthbending force or whatever. I got Terra team on it. We'll be fine. They immediately get destroyed. And so that's it. I
like the big. There's a big Easter egg at the end though, where they find out that the drill's name is Wint.
Okay,
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Oh, it's not an Easter egg. It's
Aang and Azula
foreshadowing.
have a pretty cool duel, basically, as well.
It's Drill from Twitter. It's Wint.
Got it. Thank you.
Yeah, Drill tweets.
Wait, at the top of the wall, Sokka begins to brainstorm clever nicknames for their group, including the Yang Gang, is what my wife said. Yang Gang? Yang Gang.
He's ahead of his time. Sokka's really into like universal basic income.
And as I said earlier, the fearsome foursome. And they prepare to enter Ba Sing Se now that they basically destroy the drill and like melted a bunch of watery rock over it, which Toph and Katara can both bend because it's got water and earth in it. And then anyway, so they just destroy the fucking thing. It's a pretty cool episode actually, but not a lot of storyline things from it. Then we get to meet Judy in the next episode, which is my dog's name, and she was very excited about this episode because Judy shows up. But,
did she react when they said Judy on the TV?
Oh, I didn't. But but my wife and I heard that, and we both started saying Judy a lot because we wanted our dog to react.
Nice.
But anyway, so they get to Ba Sing Se finally, and it's a big city, and they
get
go
to
through
North Korea. I mean, Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, they go through the tour, and they're like, here's the outer ring for crafters and the new arrivals to the city. Here's the middle ring.
Which means like poors and refugees.
Yeah.
We keep them on the outside.
The middle ring is the middle class. Thanks, Spanky.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, exactly. And then the inner ring is like all the rich people, basically. And then they're taken up to the inner ring because he's a celebrity. The Avatar, and they get put into a little house, and they're like, I'll put in that request for you to meet the Earth King. It'll probably take like 6 to 8 weeks to get back to you. Like it's like the fucking. And meanwhile, she's like, I can show you around all the place, and basically,
I do like immediately. Toph is like, yeah, we're being handled because like the parallel between an authoritarian regime and overprotective parents. She knows this shit.
There we go, Spanky. Thank you for those eyes.
Oh my god. I hate this. I hate everything you've chosen to do with your face.
And then meanwhile, Zuko and Iroh are like gonna live out their dream of Iroh's gonna live out his dream of becoming a tea master, and like they get jobs at a tea house. And he immediately like turns the tea house into the hottest spot in the lower district.
Hottest spot because they're firebenders.
Get it?
Wow, thanks for you.
Get it?
Yes.
But do you get it?
Is still like watching them. I mean, like he's got to be a firebender. There's a really cool part where he like steals their like tinder twigs or something, and he's like,
they're firestones.
Yeah,
have to use firebending in their home to like light a fire so they can make some tea. But then, Spanky, please stop.
No, Spanky. No, Spanky.
We're trying to get through this, Spanky. Come on.
Just don't look. Just don't look.
All right. So anyway, I don't know how Iroh knows they're being watched, but he's a smart guy, and he's like,
I think he probably just assumes. Like he's like, this is fucking Ba Sing Se. We're always being watched.
exactly. So he's like, "Oh, I just borrowed some of the fire starter things from our neighbors. They're nice people." Anyway, and so Jet's like full on QAnon right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Conspiracy theory. These are fire vendors,
and to the point where like the other two are like, dude, just let it go. We came here to make a fresh start. Don't start this up again.
Start new life here and not do anything. They have like a duel. Oh yeah, and then I think he escapes, and then later in the day, Jet shows up at the tea shop in the middle of the day and starts like, no, that's it. That's when the fight happens. He shows up at the tea shop, and then he gets taken away by the Dai Li.
Because he's trying to bait Zuko into using fire powers, and then like as far as everybody else is concerned, this guy's just beating up a tea shop worker.
And so he gets taken
He's
away.
like, that guy heated up his tea, and everyone in the shop is like, he fucking works here. Of course he did.
and so you also see him as he's taken away go to the what is it, the lake
Lake Lao guy,
and you see him being brainwashed basically. And so you learn a little bit about that. But then the Avatar crew basically aren't allowed to do anything because Judy keeps like telling them off, and then they're like, all right, we got to sneak into this party that the Fire Nation or the Earth Nation King is having, because he's got his pet bear.
You mean like a mongoose bear?
Or your platypus bear?
Bear.
That's weird.
It's weird.
I
love that. And so then Katara and
sorry,
Toph,
we never. I'm gonna go back one episode just to make one reference, or two episodes, because we forgot to make it. Which was, there was a platypus bear working security when they were getting the passports to Ba Sing Se, and the cabbages guy was trying to get in.
Yeah,
and they're like, you can't come in because they might have cabbage worms. Destroy the cabbages, and a platypus bear just starts chomping into his cabbage.
That's true. Forgot about Cabbage Guy.
Yeah,
he shows up a lot.
You can't bring produce in. I mean, you got to know these rules.
Yeah. So anyway, they're like, all right, well, we're gonna go to this party, and Katara and Toph get all fucking tarted up, and fucking Aang gets a boner because he sees Katara in makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And
dude, yeah, this is a very horny episode for Aang.
Yeah. And so then he's like, you're beautiful. That's really gross. But he's 12, so whatever. Or 14? How old is he? 12?
Well, 112.
She's 14. Anyway, so they're rejected, even though she has the family seal. But then this guy, Long Feng, is like, I'll help you in, because, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And then
He's
Aang,
like, I'm just a nice, not suspicious at all guy.
Aang and Sokka are like, oh, they're not. We need to get in, and they just sneak in as servants, basically. And then they all get like basically outed at some point because something happens.
Because Aang dumps a bunch of fucking water all over this bitch.
That's it. Yeah, he spills his drink holder,
and he's like, "Oh shit, don't worry, I'll dry you off." And then uses his airbender powers on her and blows her makeup all over her face. And then she's like, oh, "The Avatar."
Yeah. And
so then he puts on a show for the bear.
Yeah, that's true. And then Long Feng is like, actually, I'm the Grand Secretariat of Ba Sing Se, and I'm the head of the Dai Li, which is the secret police. And I'm like, let's go to this other room and talk, basically. And then
it's like a stop.
Yeah, and then Aang's like, all right, guys, there's a solar eclipse coming. We got to fight the Fire Nation. And then Long Feng's like, guys, there's no war. The war doesn't exist. There's no war in Ba Sing Se. And so, like, because the city is basically closed off entirely, and nobody can get in. So rather than like contribute to a war effort or worry about a war, they're just like, nah, war doesn't exist. Like, don't worry about it. And it keeps the peace, basically.
Yeah,
it's like
he figures as long as he can keep the king in the dark, then he can keep control. So he's like, if the king knows there's war, he's going to want to get involved, and I'll lose control.
And then like a lot of what is it? there's a lot of parallels to when there's like a pandemic going on, and then just a lot of people choose not to believe that there's
if we if we just stopped testing, there would be no COVID in Ba Sing Se.
And one of my favorite parts though is at the end. They're like, "All right, Judy will accompany you back to your place, and it's a different girl."
Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh, what happened to the first one? And then we get to the saddest episode of Avatar.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because of Sokka's fail.
Just because Momo has such a... Oh, right. Yeah. No, yeah.
Well, anyway.
In my skimming rewatch of this, I skipped Tales of Ba Sing Se because like it's emotionally hard.
Spanky, you can't skip it because there's a rap battle.
That's true.
But I will say has the rap battle.
So I will say this episode is kind of like the Simpsons episode 26 Tales in Springfield, where they kind of have each character or group of characters has their own little arc. And so Toph and Katara have the first one, and
Aang is really good too.
It's kind of like not a filler episode, but it's like just a little like here's a little episode before we get to the main final like 4 episode arc of the 4 or 5 episode arc of the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
They were all pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love this episode. It's really good. And so basically, Toph and Katara like we should get makeovers basically and have a spa day. And Toph's like, I'm okay being a dirty girl. She's like the tomboy like thing. She's like, I'm not cute or whatever. And
but then at one point she was like, all right, I'll entertain it as long as they don't touch my feet. And then they immediately like start scrubbing all the fucking layers of dirt off her feet.
Yeah. And then they leave out with like really pretty makeup, and then these older girls.
Well, there's also like, let's not skip over that. There's a mud bath which she enjoys because of earthbending. I just thought that was funny
because it's getting dirty.
I just want to mention this: the Avatar Wiki fandom. This says three girls, older girls, led by Star, which I didn't even know this was Star. That's the girl that made fun of the way she looked. Has an entire history page, and she's only in the one episode in that one scene. So I don't know who wrote all this, but anyway,
self-insert fan fiction.
Yeah, maybe it very well could be. So basically, they make fun of Toph. Basically, like she looks dumb, and then basically, Toph earthbends a hole in the bridge, and all the girls fall in the water. And then
Katara like
wave drowns these 3 girls.
Yeah, it's like they seriously have no idea if those girls drown or not.
But anyway, they kind of gain because like Toph and Katara have kind of been butting heads a lot, and this is the episode where it's kind of like okay, like we can be friends a little bit. And then for some reason, the Tale of Iroh isn't the one that they have at the end of the episode, which is weird. And it's not even at the end of. It's like not even in the middle. It's the second one.
Yep.
So the Tale of Iroh is a pretty sad one, I guess. Iroh's just a cool guy, basically.
He's just him going around town doing nice things for people.
Yeah, he buys a flower. There's a boy who's crying, and Iroh sings him a song. Mm-hmm. And then an alley. There's
a mugger
earthbending a ball, and it
crashed
your window. And he says, "You should admit your mistakes and restore your honor."
But then the dude's really big, and they
just run away. But anyway, while he's in an alley, this mugger basically tries to mug him. He's like, dude, you're holding that knife all wrong. Like, I could just knock you over by touching you, basically, because you're using the wrong stance. And they have like a heart-to-heart. And he's like...
He convinces the dude to try and become a masseuse.
Yeah, like stop being a criminal, basically. Which is really cool. And then he's collected all of these items that he was going around town to get. And he goes up to a hill with a large tree, pulls out materials from the basket, and is a memorial for Lu Ten's birthday, which was his only son, which we've learned about in the previous episodes, who was killed in the siege of Ba Sing Se, which is when Iroh basically quit fighting, basically, when his son died. And they talk about that back, when we see Zuko and Azula as kids. They're like, well, he doesn't have an heir now because his son died. And so he does like a very like Eastern ritual where they light 2 incense sticks and he wishes a happy birthday to his son because it turns out it's his son's birthday, and he wishes he could have helped him like he helped all the other people, but that with his son dying is what helped him to become a better person. And it's really sad. He sings a song "Leaf from the Vine," and it's even more sad because the guy who did the voice of Iroh passed away from esophageal cancer after the season basically was mostly wrapped on voice work. Mm-hmm. There's actually a couple spots in the season where I think Stephen Baldwin, someone does the voice of I forget who it is, of Iroh. I'm gonna look. But yeah, it's really emotional because he sings a really nice song and the guy's dead that did the voice, and it's a really sad story.
Greg Baldwin.
I knew it was a Baldwin. One of the
Baldwin brothers.
Anyway.
Oh man, I just clicked on his page.
Yeah.
He's got a kitty diddler mustache.
All right, let's not worry about that. We got to keep going. It's late. Tale of Aang.
He bought a zoo.
Yeah, Aang's story we could just kind of skip over because Aang's just Aang does the thing where he wants to help out, but then he because the animal, the zoo is all sad, and then he's like, hey, the Daily won't fund it because it's not popular with the kids, so everything's sad, and so he's like, I'll help, and he just releases all the animals from the zoo, which is okay, well, it's kind of a theme with Aang. He's like, oh, I want to help, but he doesn't know anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So he just kind of
which is why I love that comic of him not knowing what ambidextrous means.
Yeah. He's just he's just immediately going to support you because he's that kind of guy, but even if he doesn't know what he's talking about. So then Zuyano's not the only creature that in the whistle. Oh yeah.
On this episode, Guy, Iroh's the only one that has more than one sentence, so we could probably speed through a bunch of these.
Oh yeah. Well, we got one more interesting one after that. Sokka has the rap battle, which is fun. He stumbles into
a haiku poetry parlor,
and he turns out he's really good at haikus.
Until he tries to be good.
Yeah, and then he tries too hard and fucks up. But then the other one that's actually we have two more that are actually somewhat important. One's plot important, one's not. Mm-hmm. So we have the Zuko tale where that meme is, where he has a date with a girl who has a crush on him, basically, and then they go on a date, and she's like, "So what do you like to do?" And he says, "Nothing." Or what do you do for fun? Nothing. Because he's very edgelordy. And then he's like, noticing her eating, Zuko says, "You have quite the appetite for a girl." It's just he's just such a fucking idiot who doesn't know what to do. And then he's like, "What do you think I do?" In the circus, because he makes up a story that they were a traveling circus and they traveled to Ba Sing Se. And then she's like, "Yeah, I'm a juggler." And she's like, "Juggle for me." And then he tries to juggle, which is weird. He could have made up something "Oh, I don't like to perform right now. It's a whole thing. I need my
tools. I'll juggle for you."
Jesus Christ.
Spanky's got the Zuko Snapchat filter. So anyway, she takes him to her favorite part of her city, the Firelight Fountain, at night. And there's usually floating lanterns and water looks like it's sparkling, and then all these lights. And so Zuko does a thing where he's like, "All right, close your eyes." He does a nice thing, and then he lights all the candles with his firebending, basically. And then she tries to give him a kiss, but he holds up a coupon for free tea. That's a bad filter. You had a better one before. That one's a little.
No. This one's which one was it? This one's good, but I was cycling through and I'm like, oh, this one looks like the icon for this one's way better, and I click it and it looks like a fucking vagina.
All right. So he and then she says for him to close his eyes, and then she kisses him. Haha. And then he runs away, basically. And then Iroh's like, "How was your night?" He slams the door. He's like a moody teen, basically.
But doesn't he reopen and go, yes. It was really
nice.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, maybe he is softening a little bit. And then we have the one that's only important based on the storyline going to next episode is the Tale of
No,
Momo.
I think you mean the most important one because of the characters involved.
Well, I love Momo as a character, and it's a lot of fun. And then Momo is like basically dreaming about eating fucking massive moon peaches, and then he actually wakes up and he finds a tuft of Appa's hair on his head from inside the bag, and he smells it, and he's like, I could probably look around the city, basically, because he wants to find his friend Appa, because they kind of are friends. And so he's searching the city. He meets the pumas, the pygmy pumas.
Mhm.
Oh, that's right.
Pumas, and they try and eat him, and they like have a chase, basically. And then Momo becomes a dancing monkey for a minute, and then all four of them get captured, basically, by the animal control police. And then they're offered to a butcher, which is like, ugh. And I thought it was like, oh, they're gonna throw him in like fucking the pound. No. And this episode's also great because they show like Momo seeing people talk in like Momo speak, like because he can't understand English or whatever language they speak in the Avatar world. And he escapes because he's got opposable thumbs, and he just like fucking opens his cage, basically.
Yeah.
And then he
He's
looks
about
back.
he's about to bolt. He looks back, and the cats
Yeah.
are like, "But us too."
Yeah, and he rescues the cats, and they become friends. And the cat like smells the fur and is like, "Oh shit!" And then like grabs it and runs. And he chases them, and they find a 3-toed footprint in the street, which is very obviously Appa's footprint.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and then he lands in it, curls on top of the tuft and fur, and falls asleep, which is really kind of also
Yeah.
sad.
And then the weird thing is in the extended cut, then it starts raining, and then the puddle fills with rain, and he drowns, and Momo drowns and dies at the end of that episode. And everyone laughs and claps.
Momo says that we're all lost.
But he
Like,
didn't die. He did, but
He
but
starts
it
speaking
explicitly
English.
makes it clear
He
that he
was-
didn't die of drowning. He died of esophageal cancer.
Yeah.
Momo died of esophageal cancer. Yes.
And then
no,
Werner Herzog just starts narrating the rest of the series about the bleakness of existence.
yeah. Momo says, "I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on the fire of the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhauser Gate. All those moments will be lost in time like tears in the rain. Time to die."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird that they had Momo speak English like that.
Yeah. God, fuck! I want to watch
Bounty hunting is a dangerous profession.
I'm gonna make my wife.
That was the worst German accent.
Anyway, that's it for this episode. We gotta end. It's
Yep.
fucking 10:48. I got work.
Nothing else from Kanye. So
We didn't even
Really?
get to talk
Oh.
about.
Oh,
how
we did
sad
get
it
something.
is to let Taco Bell is dying.
We'll talk about that next week
yeah,
because I went on a
Kanye-
Taco Bell run specifically,
Kanye just said, "I'm a focus on the music now." 3 minutes ago.
which is good because
Which I feel like is not Kanye, but somebody else took his phone.
Well, no, I mean, from the way it sounds like he's in Wyoming and his wife and father-in-law or mother-in-law, I guess. Well, anyway, mother-in-law is in LA, maybe trying to get a hold of him. But his studio is in the ranch in Wyoming, so he can just work on music. Maybe that's the best thing for you there, Kanye.
Trending
That's
in the United States. Pray for Ye.
Yeah. Speaking of trending in the United States, John_Danger is the guy to follow.
You can follow John_Danger at toot.cafe.
On the
Yep.
Fediverse.
Mhm.
Let's see if my application got approved. Otherwise, you can just find me at Matt Haig Music everywhere.
My
Matt Haig
favorite
Music
part about a social media app is having to apply to use it.
I got
You can
approved.
find-
You can find me at Matt Haig Music at linernotes.club.
And I'm at May of May at mastodon.cloud because I'm default. But you can find previous episodes at borninthE80s.net or join our Discord, discord.borninthE80s.net, a new way to get there.
Yeah, much easier than yellow20.com or /born80.
Yeah.
And spell everything out. Spell out 80s.
Yep.
And I'm Spanky. You can find me by texting 30330 text Joe to 30330.
Okay, Joe, it's sundown. It's time to go to bed. We gotta go. That's
All
not.
right,
You boosted. Oh wait, no.
I did both.
What's favorite? Is it called favoriting?
Favorite is like.
So
The
it's
fucking
like.
Boomerest thing I've ever said. Is it called favoriting?
But what? Look at this. So like, because my instance has a few customizations.
Don't forget to like my Twitter account.
My like symbol is a floppy disk on Cyberdust's face.
You don't even know what a floppy disk is. I know you do, but still.
Whoa! You 3D printed the save symbol.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's some cool shit though, because my instance has a few customizations. One that I think all of them have is if you go to the settings and appearance,
Yeah.
it's enable advanced web interface right at the very top.
No, I don't have that option.
Okay, whatever. And when you click it,
Wait, why do I not have that option?
You probably have to like enable advanced options or something. Or maybe you're not a power user. You have to work up enough karma.
Wait.
no, you do.
Karma.
No, wait, what? Oh. Okay, the UI just sucked. Yeah, I have that option.
Yeah. So it's not exactly like Twitter. This used to be the default UI, and then they
Well,
made the
That's
simple
what
UI default.
Tweetbot looked like.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
TweetDeck too.
Originally, this was based on TweetDeck and Tweetbot, and then people were like, "Can we get a simple one to like use on tablets and shit?" And then they made the other one the default because people were using mobile interfaces way more than this. So this is just the one you can enable if you want the advanced look. I personally like to keep it on the Twitter one, but
Gender orientation pronouns. How do I set that up for myself?
so you just go to account, I believe. No, profiles.
Oh, account.
And then there's these profile metadata ones. You can make the label.
Oh, you can make your own labels.
Yes.
Okay.
So those are my labels. And here's the thing that I don't think yours has, but mine does because it's got customizations.
Windows 95.
Here we go.
I want that.
Yeah, I want that one.
How come I don't get that one?
How do
So
I
here's
force
what
other
the
people to
timeline-
see my profile like that?
This is what the timeline looks like whenever you have the Windows 95 theme.
Oh, I love that. How do I get that?
I'm uncomfortable. I love it.
Oh man, there
I
needs to
don't
be like
know
a
that-
separate window header for each item.
So it's in the appearance in the top right site theme, but Nolan doesn't have the Windows 95 theme installed.
He doesn't have any themes installed because I can't.
He has
do
a
anything.
few. He's got Paris
Wait, where?
Moore.
Oh, it's
Look
because
at-
I'm in profile appearance, not preferences appearance. There we go.
Yeah, so profile appearance is your profile.
Photon dark. What does that do? Ooh, I don't
Here
like
it
that.
does.
Paris Mon Amour. Ooh, I like that one. It's
I
like
mean-
blue and blue. Dark blue.
Photon drops are what you get to power up your weapons in Phantasy Star.
So I go to local, and that will be everyone on my server, and then federated is every server that my server is connected to.
You got it.
Cool.
I don't know what that means.
I'm understanding it more. The only thing I don't like about it is the fact that it seems like the communities are all locked up at this point.
Well,
Like the
so
one I wanted to join, I couldn't join.
Well, you can
You
apply.
probably
I
could.
applied to one,
No, I
but
couldn't even apply to that one.
oh really?
No,
Well, no, and then the Elic one I also couldn't apply to.
so the Elic one, I know that you can message Noelle and say, "Hey, I would like an account." Spanky Works sent me, and Noelle has no idea who I am, but she can look me up and see that I'm not a shitbird, and say, "Okay, so if this dude recommended these
Until
people,
we send her links to the podcast.
Well, man, as long as just a bot that's just Homestar screenshots, sign me up.
Yeah. What?
I just followed a Homestar screenshot bot. that
Nice.
just puts that. So
So I'm gonna send you a
There's some good bots in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a link. I'm gonna direct message you from my Toot.cafe.
I'm in Toot.cafe.
Well, I am too, but I should probably not use it because people will think it's me. Even though my regular one is cyberspace, so I'll send it to you in cyberspace.
Gonna play some Paper Mario. That's a tweet that I favorited. Can I change it so favorites isn't spelled with a U? Like,
Yeah, change
Trader
it to
spell
real English instead of British English.
Honestly, I have no idea. So I direct messaged you.
I didn't get it. How do I get it?
There's probably a direct messages button.
It is, but there's nothing here. Maybe I have to refresh. Nah.
So Spanky, where's horny Twitter?
Oh shit! I fucked up. I don't know how to use this website.
I found
How
that.
the fuck do you use this website?
Let's see. Well, let me find.
Why don't you just click on my profile and then just DM me?
Yeah, so that was the thing. Is I should have just clicked it, but I was trying to be neat and just type it
Yeah,
in.
I got it. Alright, click the thing. Who's this? Melee.
It's only posts Melee bot.
So
it
every
literally-
10 days or 7 days it posts a picture of Melee cover?
Yeah, and that's
Alright,
it.
I guess
That's all
I'll
What's
follow
that
this one.
mastodon.org thing that you said?
Join Mastodon.org,
Alright,
and
I'm
I'll
gonna get a
say
drink. We
that
should probably
like
start the podcast.
those are just the ones who contact the guy who runs that.
Okay, so TJ, the horny one is called Switter.at.
Oh yeah, that's the sex work one.
That's
That's
the
I
horny
think
one.
that's the second biggest one in the world too.
Now, do you have to be a sex worker to join, or just like a fan?
You could be a fan for sure, but you will definitely get banned for any anti-sex worker thing you say.
Fair enough.
Oh, I get it. The SW stands for sex work.
There you go. It's sex work Twitter.
Now, is there one for adult baby diaper lovers?
Yes,
Again,
and
asking
I'm
for
pretty sure that my server has banned them. And I think it's abdl.life.
That sounds horrible.
Oh my god, I can't believe I just
TJ,
fucking typed that in.
You should join yif.life. You're on Twitch right now, so don't do anything that's gonna get my channel back.
Oh, okay. Shit, what, I'm just gonna search for, fucking, what is it? ABDL. Okay, it's not banned on mine, I don't think.
Any DM? What?
Yeah. Or diaper. What? Oh, ABDL Mastodon. Let's see if I can get some fucking bullshit.
Dude,
ABDL.link. It's ABDL.link.
abdl.world.
Oh, and look, they've got their own custom fork of Mastodon to have their own customization. Should I click it?
No. Maybe.
ABDL.link is a community-led microblogging platform. We're part of the decentralized federated social network based on open source Mastodon project. ABDL.link is hosted on our own servers and supported by our patrons. We don't sell your personal data or have ads. Hey, John, I found an ABDL.link, which is...
What have I just walked into? Can you get us up on Twitch so we can start?
We've been on
Oh,
Twitch.
we've been on Twitch, baby.
That's why I'm doing the ABDL.link.
We got
my
quite a
God.
bit
lot
of
of
pre-show.
content for
Here's
this.
the rules for ABDL.link. Under 18s, not allowed. Media or content involving under 18s, not allowed. Posting or linking any content that's illegal in the UK, Netherlands, or Germany, not allowed. Discrimination, not allowed. Spam bots, not allowed.
So it can be illegal in the US and they can tweet it?
I guess
Fair
so.
enough.
There's a lot of
all
shit that's
profile
illegal in
pictures
the
look-
US that's not illegal in, like, Europe.
like standing in front of a police officer if you're not white.
Yeah. TJ, do you have a bunch of like noise canceling on?
No, it's actually off. It's just been annoying. Like, no matter what I do, I've got some weird whatever going through.
Yeah, because
Let
it
me turn
sounds
it on.
like slightly robot. It doesn't sound bad if we can't like get rid of it.
Oh,
I'm just
you know what?
curious.
Let me do something really quick. It's gonna probably disconnect me for about half a second.
Let's see. Unavailable content. If you make an account on avdl.link, these are the kind of websites you will not be able to interact with. Twitter.at. Looks like you won't be able to interact with feminism.lgbt.
I want to
And a
know
lot
what
of
the ABDL people did. Like, I need to know more about this feud.
Is this any better?
Yeah.
I changed nothing else except we're going on my 5.0 Wi-Fi instead of my 2.4.
Okay.
So
See, I was
here's
just like
one
bit
thing.
crushing you, I guess.
Here's
Okay.
one thing that's terrible. Gab.com now federates on the Fediverse. So, like, every single website is unfederated from them, but they're technically available on the
Is
Fediverse.
Gab the like racist or
Yes.
Twitter?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
What about Parlor?
I have no idea.
What about Vote?
Oh, here's a good one. Rapefeminists.network. But, like, most of these get shut down in a couple days.
John,
and
you're
people
just gonna have to
make-
go ahead and isolate that clip.
Someone clip that. Is anyone in the fucking chat that could clip that?
I don't know.
See,
how to
I
clip.
like, though, that even though I said that and the audio can be out of context, viewers will know that I was highlighting a banned instance on ABDL. I'm just going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen
Yeah.
and stop
too
endorsing
late. You're already
ABDL.link
canceled.
on this fucking stream.
You're already canceled. It's too late. It's okay. I have
Anyway.
a book I can send you.
When do you have fucking gay girl on your forehead?
I do like that. That's great.
All right, we're good. I wish I could use that app, but I can't.
It didn't take me long to set it up, and I didn't even restart my computer.
If I remember, I'll set one up too.
You just got to change the Discord then to
The
this
snap
snap
cam
camera.
thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no. Maybe I need to do that.
There. That's better.